In this video, we delve into a pressing question. Are climate regulations inadvertently pushing people into poverty? As nations strive to combat climate change, the impacts of rising energy costs, job losses in traditional energy sectors, and unequal access to green technology cannot be overlooked. We'll explore how these regulations may elevate everyday costs and disproportionately affect the most vulnerable, while also examining how subsidies often benefit the wealthy. Join us as we unpack the complex interplay between climate efforts and economic stability, highlighting the risks and implications for those struggling to get by. 1. Rising energy costs. Stricter climate regulations are often implemented with the intention of reducing carbon emissions and protecting the environment. However, these regulations frequently lead to an increase in energy costs. When industries are required to comply with environmentally friendly standards, they often face higher operational costs. These expenses are then transferred to consumers, resulting in higher utility bills. Unfortunately, low-income households are disproportionately affected. For families on tight budgets, even a small increase in energy bills can mean having to choose between heating their homes and buying groceries. This situation creates a cycle of financial strain that can push already struggling families deeper into poverty. The burden of rising energy costs highlights the need for policies that consider the economic realities faced by vulnerable populations. 2. Job losses in traditional energy sectors. The transition towards cleaner energy sources is crucial for combating climate change, yet it comes with significant economic implications. Regulations targeting fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and gas, often lead to job losses in these traditional energy sectors. Workers who have spent years honing their skills in these industries face the daunting prospect of unemployment. For communities that rely heavily on these jobs, the impact is even more profound. Families lose a stable source of income, leading to financial instability and increased poverty rates. Transitioning to new employment opportunities in green industries is not always feasible, as it requires retraining and relocating, which can be challenging for many individuals. The loss of jobs in traditional energy sectors underscores the need for a balanced approach to climate regulations that considers the welfare of affected workers. 3. Unequal access to green technology. Green technology, hailed as the future of sustainable living, often comes with a hefty price tag. Electric vehicles, solar panels, and other innovative solutions are designed to reduce our carbon footprint. However, the high initial costs make them inaccessible to many people, particularly those from low-income backgrounds. While wealthier individuals can afford to invest in these technologies, those with limited financial resources are left behind. This disparity in access means that the environmental benefits of green technology are not evenly distributed. Without measures to make these technologies affordable for all, the divide between those who can contribute to combating climate change and those who cannot will only widen. The unequal access to green technology is a stark reminder that sustainable living must be inclusive. 4. Increased costs of goods and services. Climate regulations often require companies to adopt eco-friendly practices, which can involve significant financial investment. To cover these costs, businesses frequently pass them on to consumers, resulting in higher prices for goods and services. Everyday essentials like food, clothing, and transportation become more expensive, placing an additional burden on already stretched household budgets. For low-income families, these increased costs can mean the difference between making ends meet and falling into poverty. The ripple effect of higher prices can be felt across the economy, affecting everyone but hitting the poorest the hardest. This situation emphasizes the need for policies that balance environmental goals with economic realities, ensuring that the cost of a greener world is not borne disproportionately by those least able to afford it. 5. Subsidies often benefit the wealthy. Government subsidies for green initiatives are intended to encourage the adoption of sustainable practices. However, these subsidies often disproportionately benefit wealthier individuals who can afford the upfront costs of eco-friendly technologies. For instance, tax breaks for purchasing electric vehicles or installing solar panels are more accessible to those with disposable income. Meanwhile, low-income families, who could benefit most from reduced energy costs, are left out of these benefits. This inequity in subsidy distribution means that the environmental advantages of green initiatives are concentrated among the affluent. To ensure a fair transition to a sustainable future, it is crucial to design subsidies that are equitable and accessible to all, regardless of income level. 6. Displacement from land use changes. Climate-friendly projects, such as reforestation or the installation of wind farms, are vital for reducing carbon emissions. However, these initiatives can inadvertently displace rural communities, exacerbating poverty in those areas. When land is repurposed for environmental projects, residents may be forced to relocate, losing their homes and livelihoods. The social and economic disruption caused by displacement can have long-lasting effects on affected communities. Without proper support and compensation, displaced individuals face significant challenges in rebuilding their lives. This situation highlights the importance of considering the human impact of land use changes and ensuring that climate-friendly projects do not come at the expense of vulnerable populations. 7. The poverty trap of climate resilience. Building resilience to climate change is essential for safeguarding communities against its impacts. However, poorer communities often lack the resources to adapt to the costs of climate change mitigation. Whether it's upgrading infrastructure or investing in disaster preparedness, the financial burden can be overwhelming. As a result, these communities are frequently left behind, trapped in a cycle of vulnerability and poverty. The inability to adapt effectively means that they face greater risks from climate-related events, further entrenching their economic struggles. To break this poverty trap, it is crucial to provide targeted support and resources to help these communities build resilience and thrive in a changing climate.